father, child, one who, to put thee from your heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, that you expected not, nor I even looked for. Madame, in happy time, what day is that? Lady Capulet. Married, my child. Early next Thursday morn, the gallant young and noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride. Oh, Juliet doesn't respond. She reacts. She's already married, and she never wanted to marry Paris anyway. Now by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste, that I must wed before he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you, tell my lord and father, madame, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear, it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed. Whoa, she spoke her mind. Lady Capulet. Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands. Not much sympathy, Mom. Enter Lord Capulet and nurse. When the sun sets, the earth does drizzle dew, but for the sunset of my brother's son, it rains downright. How now? Okay, so it was his brother's son is Tybalt, and he's kind of saying the weather goes along with these sad days. It's raining outside. It's like the tears shedding over Tybalt's death. How now, a conduit girl? What, still in tears? Evermore showering? Is one little body thou counterfeitest a bark, a sea, a wind? Can your little body have so many tears in it, Juliet? For still thy eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The bark is another name for a ship, the bark thy body is, sailing in this salt flood, the winds thy sighs, who raging with thy tears, and they with them, without a sudden calm, will overset thy tempest-tossed body, and a tempest is a storm. How now, wife? Have you delivered to her our decree? Our good news? Why is she crying if we give her good news? Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave. Well, Mom. Lord Capulet. Soft? Take me with you, wife. How? Will she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bride? Juliet. Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be for what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love. Capulet. How now, chop it logic. What is this? Proud, and I thank you not, and yet not proud? Mistress minion, you! Think me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but fettle you fine joints against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carrion! Out, baggage, you tallow face! Wow, now Dad's just getting on her case big time. Not loving words, just pretty much ordering her. You will marry Paris. You'll be at the church. If you'll not walk yourself, I will drag you by your ponytails and get you there myself. Lady Capulet. Fie. What, are you mad? Juliet. Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word. Capulet. Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church at Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch, meaning I wish I could just about slap you. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God has lent us but this one child, but now I see this one is one too much, and that we have a curse in having her. Out on her. Hilding. Nurse. God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so. Capulet. In why, my lady Wisdom? Hold your tongue. Good Prudence, smatter with your gossip. Go. I speak no treason. Oh God, go. Nurse. May not one speak? Capulet. Peace, you mumbling fool! Utter your gravity over a gossip's bowl, for here we need it not. Lady Capulet. You are too hot. Lord Capulet. God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play. Alone in company, still my care hath been to have her matched, and having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair demesnes, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honourable pots, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched puling fool, a whining mammet in her fortune's tender to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you pardon me, but, and you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, and you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it. I do not use to jest. He's going to give Juliet some ultimatums here. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart, advise. And you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. And you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul I'll never acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn by my own daughter. Marry Paris, or I'm kicking you out of the house, and I don't care what happens to you. And he storms out. Juliet. Is there no pity, sitting in the clouds, that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week. Or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies. So if you can't slow down this marriage, Mom, you might as well just put me into the grave. Call me dead. Put my body next to Tybalt's. Lady Capulet. Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as you will, for I have done with thee. Okay, and that's the same Lady Capulet we kind of met in the beginning of the play, who didn't really know how to talk about love with her daughter and had to call the nurse in to have a little bit of guidance. And here now she's just disregarding her daughter, who she can see is emotionally tortured. I mean, mothers are supposed to maybe not give you everything you want, but help you with everything you need. So her own mom just walks out on her. Juliet. Oh God, nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth, unless that husband send it me from heaven by leaving earth? Okay, my husband would have to die and give me his love to make things right, and I would just be getting his love from heaven if I'm going to be forced to marry somebody else. Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, alack, the heavens should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as me. What sayest you? Have you no word of joy? Some comfort, nurse. The nurse. Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dares never come back to challenge you. Or, if he does, it needs must be by stealth. Okay, if he's going to come back, he's going to have to be very sneaky. Then, since the case so stands as now it doth, I think it best you marry with the county. I think it best you marry Paris. Romeo's not going to be able to make it back here. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dishcloth to him, an eagle madman, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart, and I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first. Or, if it did not, your first is dead, or so it were as good as dead, as living here, and you no use of him, and you can't see him anyway, so he might as well be dead. I mean, that's Romeo. And so the nurse, who was always by Juliet's side, running back and forth, helping her get married, suddenly says, I think you should marry Paris. Okay, so why would the nurse do that? Why would she betray this one she calls her little lamb, her little bird? Maybe she's afraid for herself, seeing how wild and angry Lord Capulet and Lady Capulet got. Is she being fickle rather than loyal? Or is she just kind of saying this but having a plan also? Kind of tricky to know what this nurse is about. Juliet feeling like the nurse is betraying her, says, "Speakest thou from thy heart? And from my soul too, else beshrew them both." "Amen." "What?" "Well, thou hast comforted me a marvellous much. Go in, and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father, to St. Lawrence's cell, to make some confession, and to be absolved." "Marry, I will, and this is wisely done." Okay, so Juliet says, "Well, if you think I should marry Paris, okay, then maybe I should just go to Friar Lawrence and confess that I wronged my dad by talking back to him. I wronged my mom by talking back to her. So I'm going to go confess my sins of being not honoring my mother and my father. So tell my parents I'm going to confession." And the nurse says, "Good plan, Juliet. I'll go tell them. That's a very good idea." And now Juliet is alone. So we're going to hear her real mind. "Ancient damnation, O most wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times?" So should I hate the nurse for at one time praising Romeo and now calling him a dishclout? "Go, counselor. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to Friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die." Okay, so she did not like what the nurse said, so she's going to go to Friar Lawrence and see if he has a better plan, better counseling to make her feel better. The plan she wants is one that'll help her be with Romeo. So end Act 3 of Romeo and Juliet. Will they get back together? Will the nurse turn back to be loyal? Or will she just be serving herself, saving her own big butt? Jeez Louise. We shall see.